We are Team 7, and today we'll be discussing how information technology positively impacts the way people think. One major positive impact that technology has on the way people think is the effect of increased critical thinking. Critical thinking is the intellectual process of evaluating information gathered through observations as a guide to belief and action. There are many tools that we can use online to help us increase our critical thinking. For example, note-taking tools such as Google Docs and mobile note-taking apps provide opportunities for us to track and reflect our learning and research. With the ability to view our past learning experiences graphically, we are able to view patterns in our understanding and therefore create new unique ideas when approaching similar problems. Another form of critical thinking enhancement can be done through discussion forums such as Reddit and Quora. These platforms allow individuals to demonstrate both lower level and higher level critical thinking when posting and answering questions. Finally, digital storytelling activities through the use of software applications such as PowerPoint and Prezi allows for individuals to develop their critical thinking skills by sharing experiences and research in an easy-to-view format.
One argument people have against information technology is that it encourages multitasking, which supposedly causes a lack of focus and efficiency. However, it is important to point out the benefit that this increase in multitasking has brought. In fact, it is possible that having access to information technology helps busy people multitask more effectively. A 2015 study from Microsoft found that Canadians who spend more time on digital devices were better at simultaneously processing information from multiple sources. It was also apparent that, although heavy multitaskers had greater difficulty focusing on a single task for long periods of time, they demonstrated better overall engagement when allowed to switch between different tasks. This suggests that even though there are trade-offs to multitasking, those that do it more often are better at it. In a busy world, this ability to focus and switch between multiple tasks is very useful and shouldn't be underestimated. In addition, it is suspected that not all forms of multitasking may affect one's attention span as previously thought. A 2014 study from McGill University tested the cognitive effects on individuals when music was played in the background. The study found that, compared to white noise or silence, classical music played in the background helped to increase memory performance, speed up mental processing, and improve overall mood. This suggests that it may be actually beneficial to multitask certain activities, especially if they are more passive.
Another positive effect of information technology is the possibility of countering depression. Depression is a serious health issue common among older adults in North America and can also be found among young people too. Late life depression affects about 5 to 10 million Americans aged 50 and older. Given that older adults often lack mobility and face many limitations, they often feel disconnected from society, which may lead to greater degrees of depression caused by retirement. However, the internet enables them to maintain contact with their social networks and exchange information with others, which increases their quality of living and helps fight depression. A study conducted by the University of Michigan in 2014 shows that using the internet can help reduce social isolation, loneliness, and depression, as well as enhance social support among older adults. Depression was measured using an 8-item version of the Center of Epidemiologic Studies depression scale, and the authors found that internet users had an average predicted probability of depression of 0.07 compared to the non-users was 0.105, and the probability of depression meaning the lower the number, the less likely of depression occurring. Therefore, based on the difference, the use of information technology led to a 33% reduction in the probability of depression. This shows that information technology has a possibility of countering depression.
Before the advanced development of information technology, people were trapped in their own social circles. One's immediate social circle could only extend to a certain size, which was proportional to his or her exposure to new concepts and values. However, in the modern age, with the help from social media, people have become more open-minded due to having instant access to content from all around the world. The world is becoming a global village, and people can experience foreign cultures, norms, and traditions. More importantly, Social media can promote interactive dialogues that build understanding of different points of views. In 2015, researchers at Facebook and the University of Michigan observed the data usage of 10.1 million active Facebook users in the US over a 6-month period. From their study, researchers noticed that most Facebook users had 20% of their friends sharing opposite political stances and ideologies. In addition, other social media platforms, such as the New York Times and the Washington Post, have begun to include links to their related articles that oppose the editorial line. Therefore, Internet users are not only exposed to views they agree with, but opposing views and other perspectives they've never thought of.
One of the greatest impacts of information technology is its effect on creativity. Creativity is all about the use of imagination or original ideas to produce some type of artistic work or expression. Information technology ends up being an endless pool of knowledge to draw inspiration and ideas from, as well as a tool to make further innovations. As analyzed by the National Research Council, IT has enabled effective engagement with many areas of arts and design, not just to enhance productivity or allow for efficient distribution, but to open up new creative possibilities. Take the optical, chemical, and thin film manufacturing technologies and coverages expanded upon in the 19th century. The practices of pictorial arts eventually went to establish a new creative domain that is now called filmmaking. People had used current information, which was already presented in the form of pictures, to draw inspiration and create something completely original. Information technology is a medium for which new creative domains can be built and where existing ideas can be mixed to further innovate. The film industry is simply a metaphor for the abundance of inspiration we can draw from existing information.
As a direct result of information technology being so prominent in today's society, people have become more resourceful than ever before. For example, the internet can be used as a teaching aid so students can easily contact teachers or professors if they have questions or problems with course content through mediums such as Adobe Connect, email, or even websites. This quick form of communication allows people to keep asking questions, knowing that a search engine or person may answer their question in a timely manner. Many learning-specific sites, such as LeetCode, has been created to assist curious people or even bolster existing knowledge. LeetCode is a web resource for users with a database of coding-related challenges and encourages users to solve them to improve their coding skill set. Resources like these make people more prepared for any stage of life, whether it be interview preparation, occupation-related information, or even just for personal knowledge. If people are more resourceful, they will retain that information with them wherever they go and can retrieve that information again if forgotten. Ultimately, information technology has a positive change in the way people currently think due to the ease of information retrieval, which correlates to more resourceful members of society.
The Internet and its massive pool of information has paved the way for the reduction in bias amongst its users and their decision making. With the help of artificial intelligence and other technological innovations, unconscious bias can be reduced due to the added objectivity of machines. For example, a common place where bias plays a large role is during the recruitment process. Due to human nature, there will always be unconscious bias that can lead to mental judgments about certain applicants. By using big data and automation technology, humans and businesses can objectify their decision making and reduce the effects of bias. New, cloud-based solutions help HR managers remove any inadvertent prejudice within their selection process by filtering out personal information like name or gender via anonymous recruitment processes. As a result, this has now changed the way in which recruiters think and come to judgment regarding a particular candidate. They are able to focus more on the skills of that individual and their performance attributes, having little to no access to personal details of the applicant. Another example of using technology to reduce human bias is during clinical trials. Selection bias is often reduced in the laboratory through a randomization process. Here, treatments are allocated for patients via computers rather than the discretion of a person. This removes the effects that bias might play in determining enrollment order or treatment analysis. Altogether, technology has led to positive effects on the way that humans think because of the inclusion of machines within the decision-making process and their added objective and impartial nature.
To conclude, The arguments presented throughout this presentation highlight the impact of how information technology positively changes the way people think.